So thank you, comrades. So next, Comrade Gangster, the famous rap team from Tamil Nadu, they will perform. Revolutionary greetings, comrades. புரட்சிகர வணக்கம்.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். காம்ரேட் கேங்ஸ்டா தமிழ்நாடு.
ஹாய் காம்ரேட்ஸ்.
நிறைய பேர் எங்களோட சாங்ஸ் கேட்டிருப்பீங்க, வீடியோஸ் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க. எல்லாருக்கும் ரொம்ப நன்றி. இந்த மேடையை முதல்ல எங்களுக்கு கொடுத்ததுக்காக கேரள மாநில தோழர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் நாங்கள் ரொம்ப நன்றி கடன் பட்டிருக்கோம். எங்களோட முதல் நிகழ்வு ரேப் அண்ட் லிரிக்ஸ் தினேஷ், ஆனந்த் கேஸ்ட்ரோ மியூசிக் ப்ரொடியூசர், ஆர்ஜே பிரசாத் சிங்கர் அண்ட் மியூசிக் ப்ரொடியூசர். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சாங் இஸ் வெல்வோன்.
First only, this song is most, I saw a lot of places. This was shared by a lot of comrades in Instagram. And our next song is a simple rap track. It's about Marxism. Because a lot of people used to say the era of Marxism is over. Marxism is over, socialism is over. We replied, we are by this song. என்ன சொல்ல check 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 கொஞ்சம் குறைக்கலாம் லைட்டா
குரல் மலை நெறிக்கும் அடிகாரங்களின் கரங்களை முறிக்கும் செங்கோடி கூட்டம் செங்கோடி கூட்டம் செங்கோடி குரல் மலை நெறிக்கும் அடிகாரங்களின் கரங்களை முறிக்கும் செங்கோடி கூட்டம் நீ எதிர்குரல் எழுப்பி உணரையில் நின்று எங்கள் சித்தாந்தம் ஒளி பெருக்கி நீட்டும் அடிமை சங்கிலி உடைந்திலும் உடமை சிந்தனை அழிந்திலும் புது வரலாறு படைத்திலும் அணிவால் சுற்றிய நிரந்தரம் சாதிமனதில் பாம்பின் கட்சி என்னாலும் பின்னாது எங்கள் குருதி மக்களை சுரண்டி கொண்டாடும் கூட்டத்தை செங்கோடி பந்தாடு இது உறுதி ஆயுதம் ஏந்தா எதிரிக்கும் எங்கள் விமர்சனம் என்பதே ஆயுதம் ஆயுதம் அவனும் தூக்கினார் அதில் ஆயுதம் என்பதே விமர்சனம் ஆயுதம் ஏந்தா எதிரிக்கும் எங்கள் விமர்சனம் என்பதே ஆயுதம் ஆயுதம் அவனும் தூக்கினார் அதில் ஆயுதம் என்பதே விமர்சனம் வேலைக்கில்ல பட்டிச்சும் வேலைக்கல்ல ஓலச்சாலும் நல்ல கூலி எனக்கு இங்க இல்லைன்னா ஒரு பொருளோ இங்க இல்ல ஏனோ என்னால நெருங்க முடியல என்ன சொன்னேன் மாசியம் அழிஞ்சு நான் சொன்னேன் என்ன சொன்னேன் மாசியம் முடிஞ்சு நான் சொன்னேன் எங்கள் விமர்சனம் என்பதே ஆயுதம் ஆயுதம் என்பதே விமர்சனம் ஆயுதம் ஏந்தா எதிரிக்கும் எங்கள் விமர்சனம் ஆயுதம் ஆயுதம் அவனும் தூக்கினால் பதில் ஆயுதம் என்பதே விமர்சனம்
Thank you. It's just over now. It's like a sound check only. We'll come back. Thank you.
Comrades, thanks to comrades from Gangster. So now we have to start our conference scheduled agendas. So first of all, I am inviting Comrade PM Muhammad Riyaz, former DYFI All India President, now Minister for PWD and Tourism in Kerala, and our organizing committee chairman to give his welcome speech.
Revolutionary greetings to all dear comrades who gathered here in Kozhikode for the 18th held the event was in 2003. It was also in Kozhikode. Kozhikode, along the Arabian Sea, is known for its age-old hospitality. This city has a history who came to its shores. The trend starts from the Arab traders way back in the 7th century. From the on, Kozhikode has been increasingly cosmopolitan. This also means the city is a vibrant venue for cultural gatherings. Its diversity is defined by a range of characters: the spoken languages, food flavors, custom and festivals. Even various parts of the subcontinent and Kozhikode also nurtured a tradition of strong imperialism. Our people braved against the invasion in the early 16th century, inspiring down the generations. No difference is the gravity of Kozhikode to Indians' freedom struggle. See the city with its flag for the conference. Its flutter echoes with of thousands of independence from the Kozhikode steady rise as a pivotal commercial center, functioned as a hub for several anti-colonial struggles. India have all influenced the shaping of the culture of Kozhikode during the last lap of the British Raj era and even later. History books have recorded each of those chapters in golden letters. If we grew up fighting foreign powers till 1947, our subsequent resistance have been against a different kind of power center. Today, our struggles have grown even strong, owing to a right-wing government at the center and its anti-people policies. For decades, the youth and students of Kozhikode have shown their leftist political orientation. None can forget the struggle waged by the left student movements and youth to achieve educational rights. Each of them was a bloody battle for human rights too. With the formation of the KSF, which happened in 1960s as the early form of SFI, the student movement gained more radical political orientation. The formation of SFI made Kozhikode a center of several student struggles. Unforgettable is the support of the progressive student movement for a string of labor and peasant struggles happened in Malabar during that period. We are now in the 50th year of the emergency. The student movement and its activists were at the forefront of the resistance during those dark days. that began in the month of June 1975. That apart, the struggles under SFI paved the way for comprehensive changes in the education sector of Kozhikode and the entire state of Kerala. The successive left governments went on to strengthen this movement. The struggles of SFI and the determination of the left governments played a major role in the transforming Kozhikode into an educational hub of Kerala. Deservingly, the city today has several professional educational institutions besides arts and science colleges, the NIT, University of Calicut, and the Government Medical College. We are holding this conference in Kozhikode at a time when the Sangh Parivar has gained strength at the national level. The union government is making efforts to communalize education and rewrite history. The sector is going down in a dangerous direction owing to the Sangh Parivar's agenda-driven policy implementation, backed by excessive power from the central government that we all know. Progressive student movements in Kozhikode and Kerala have played a crucial role in the resistance against this trend. The SFI in Kozhikode has a history of many martyrs in our rights struggles and fights against communalization of campus. Kerala is incidentally at a historic moment as the Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan-led LDF government enters its 10th year. Through prudent policy formulation, the current administration is strengthening the progressive, scientific, and egalitarian educational concepts upheld by SFI. In the last 9 years, Kerala has achieved unparalleled achievements in the field of public education. Schools have been modernized in every way. There is a rapid increase in the number of students in public schools. The change stems from the infrastructure development being brought about through KIFBI. Kerala has taken bold steps towards becoming an international hub for higher education. Many achievements, including Digital University and Virology Institute, have enhanced the prestige of knowledge-based Kerala. The state is scripting success stories of infrastructure development and knowledge economy. As I told you earlier, it was 22 years ago Kozhikode hosted the SFI conference. This time, the organization's All India leadership expressed the need to hold the event in the month of June. We informed them about one limitation. This is month of rains in Kerala. The delegates of Kerala already know it. There is a possibility of flooding and inundation. Let's not forget that last year, at this time, the hilly Churalmala region of adjacent Wayanad suffered a landslide, claiming more than 250 human lives beside livestock and destroying houses. But then, these cannot be excused to avoid hosting an event as big as the SFI conference. So as the people concerned told us there was no way they could change the date of the conference dates, we gladly prepared ourselves to take the risk. We had to change the venue of this conference twice because of heavy rainfalls and adversary weather conditions. But we decided to go ahead, comrades, with the conference plan as this city, Kozhikode, shares an umbilical cord relationship with SFI. That is the speciality of Calicut. In the run-up to this conference, we launched a popular campaign to raise money to meet the costs of holding the conference. We placed about 2 lakh small collection boxes, which was placed by the student comrades and the organization committee. We placed about 2 lakh small collection boxes in homes and business institutions in this district, and the result was encouraging. The entire amount for the expenditure of this conference was collected through the popular initiative only. That is the speciality. Today I have no doubt that this conference in the soil of Kozhikode will go on to provide an even more focal directions for the student movement in our country. The 18th All India Conference of Students Federation of India will be now inaugurated by 2 eminent personalities of our time. Sri Shashi Kumar and Sri M.K. Raina. Sri Shashi Kumar is one of the pioneering journalists in the Indian digital media. His area of influences spread across a vast spectrum, varies from journalism, columnist, political commentator, movie director, and a model media entrepreneur. As a person closely associated with Malayalam media during the peak of his career, he is also close to the heart of Malayalis. The Asian School of Journalism he established in Chennai remains one of the most significant media schools of India. Now I welcome Kumar on behalf of the organizing committee of All India Conference of SFI. Sri M.K. Raina is one of the tallest figure of contemporary Indian theatre and cinema. A National School of Drama product, he has written the text and tone of the Indian parallel cinema world. He has more than 100 movies to his credit as an actor and has produced more than 150 plays in 12 different languages. He has also marked himself as a prominent cultural activist and an academician. On behalf of the organizing committee of 18th National Conference of SFI, I welcome Sri M.K. Raina. I welcome former President of SFI, Comrade Arun Kumar. I welcome AIK's General from different states, cultural and political activists who are present here. SFI leaders, SFI Central Committee leaders, members of organizing committee who tirelessly work to make this conference happen a great success, media fraternity, and my fellow comrades. Revolutionary greetings and warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the organizing committee. I request VP Sanu to preside this conference.
Conference first, registration, flag, homage to martyrs. Then passing agenda, inauguration of different committees, placing of draft organizational report, placing of amendment to program and constitution, to discussion, adoption of organization report, adoption of amendment to program and constitution, passing of accounts report, election of new CEC, credential report, future task, and vote of thanks. So, comrades, delegate comrades who in favor of this proposed agenda, please raise your hands. Anybody against? Anybody against? No. So, the agenda is unanimously passed. I am requesting Comrade Nitish Narayanan, All India Vice President, to place martyr resolution.
Martyr resolution. Our comrades are not merely ours. They are the children of lakhs and crores of toiling masses throughout the world. The memories of our beloved comrades will always remain as the fuel of the torch in the march toward an equitable society. Martyrs are those who proved that there are ideas and determinations worthier than an individual life. Each martyrdom, the supreme sacrifice for the movement, only strengthens our determination to fight for an egalitarian society. The red star on our white flag was colored with the blood of hundreds of our brave martyrs who laid down their lives for the cause of students and the people. They are those who valued the ideas they upheld more than their own individual lives. Martyrs live through generations and will be remembered until the last person who battles for independence, democracy, and socialism remains. We salute them every day of our struggle and in every moment of our success. We also reiterate our pledge that we will carry the struggles forward to fulfill the dreams and fights of our beloved martyr comrades and make the world they dreamed turned into a reality. Each martyr comrade is a guiding light in our path, an inspiration in the struggles, a remembrance of the commitment and selfless dedication to the cause of the society. Our brave martyr comrades are remaining alive above us, besides us, and within us. The 18th All India Conference of SFI dips its flag to salute our brave martyrs. Long live martyr comrades. Amar Shahid Sinda Hai. Rektasakshikal Sindabad. Tyagikalku Veeravanakam. We'll observe 1 minute silence saluting our brave martyrs.
I'm requesting Comrade Debanjan De to place condolence resolution.
The condolence resolution of the 18th SFI All India Conference. Comrade Sitaram Yechuri. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI pays homage in honor of former All India President of SFI and the former General Secretary of CPIM, Sitaram Yechuri, who was an outstanding leader of the democratic movement in India. He died on September 12, 2024 at the age of 72. Comrade Sitaram Yechuri began his public life as a vibrant leader and organizer of the student movement. He became a member of SFI during his college days in Delhi and emerged as one of the most popular and energetic leaders of the students in JNU in the subsequent years. He was elected to the post of JNUSU president 3 times continuously. Comrade Sitaram Yechuri was elected
as President of Students Federation of India SFI at the 5th conference at Damdam in 1984 and served till the 6th All India Conference of Vijayawada in 1986. He also served as the editor of Student Struggle from 1980 to 1986 as the longest serving editor of the journal so far. He was elected as the General Secretary of CPIM in 2015. Comrade Sitaram also has been elected as Member of Parliament in 2005 and served till 2017. The student struggle led by Comrade Sitaram Yechuri against the emergency in 1975, which forced the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to step down from the position of JNU Chancellor, remains one of the heroic events of the student movement in the country. He was always in the forefront of the struggles for democracy and secular ideals of the nation. He took a prominent role in uniting secular democratic forces of the country in the fight to protect democracy and Constitution of India against the attack by BJP RSS. He led relentless struggle against the fascist and fundamentalist forces in India. The 18th All India Conference of SFI honored Comrade Sitaram Yechuri's life and contributions to the student movement and struggles for the toiling masses of the country. Comrade Sitaram Yechuri, Lal Salam. Comrade Sitaram Yechuri, Amar Rahe. Comrade Nepal Dev Bhattacharya. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI pays homage in honor of Comrade Nepal Dev Bhattacharya, former All India General Secretary of SFI and a towering leader of the trade union movement. He died on 13th May 2025 at 1:25 am. Comrade Nepal Dev's journey as a fighter began in his school days during the late 1950s when he first embraced the student movement. As the Secretary of SFI in undivided 24 Parganas, he emerged as a relentless organizer dedicating his life to the struggles of students and workers. He was the General Secretary of SFI from 1979 Patna Conference to 1986 Vijayawada Conference. Under his leadership, SFI transformed into a formidable All India force, standing firm against divisive politics from Assam to Punjab. He played a significant role rescuing many people during 1984 riot. Alongside other comrades, he expanded SFI's reach to different parts of India. His tenure also saw the shift of SFI's All India Center from Kolkata to Delhi and the regular publication of student struggle, strengthening the ideological foundation of the movement. He also played a pivotal role in mobilizing progressive voices in Mumbai's film industry. Beyond the student movement, Comrade Nepal Dev worked in the trade union movement. He was the driving force behind the Rail Hawkers Union in Bengal and later emerged as a key leader in the transport workers movement, both in the state and at the national level. He was also elected to Rajya Sabha in 1981, where he fiercely advocated for people's rights. He remained a guiding light, inspiring generations of young activists to uphold the banner of progressive resistance. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI honored Comrade Nepal Dev Bhattacharya's life and contributions to the student movement and struggles for the toiling masses of the country. Comrade Nepal Dev Bhattacharya, Lal Salam. Comrade Nepal Dev Bhattacharya, Amar Rahe. Comrade N. Shankaraya. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI pays homage in honor of Comrade N. Shankaraya, veteran communist leader and freedom fighter. He died on November 15, 2023. Shankaraya joined the freedom struggle when he was a student. He altogether spent 8 years in jail till the eve of independence. He contributed majorly to build communist movement in Tamil Nadu and served as the Tamil Nadu State Secretary of CPIM from 1995 to 2002. He was elected thrice to the Tamil Nadu State Assembly in 1967, 77 and 80. He was also involved in the development of the Kisan movement and became the General Secretary and President of the All India Kisan Sabha. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI pays homage in honor of Comrade N. Sankaraya. Comrade N. Sankaraya, Lal Salam. Comrade N. Sankaraya, Amar Rahe. Comrade Pushpan. Comrade Pushpan, on November 25, 1994, in the police firing on the legendary struggle of students and youth organizations in Kothuparamba of Kerala against the corruption and commercialization of education by the UDF government, 5 comrades, K.K. Rajivan, K.V. Roshan, Shibulal, Madhu and Babu, became martyrs. The bullets damaged the spinal cord of 24-year-old Pushpan. Despite the painful journey of treatment and medicine, Comrade, who closely monitored contemporary political and social developments, became a strong voice of resistance at all times when the right-wing media criticized the Kothuparamba struggle and martyrdom. Comrade Pushpan, who fought against all odds for 3 decades, with the willpower that defeated bullets, passed away on September 28, 2024. He continues to be an inspiration for all. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI pays homage to Comrade Pushpan. Comrade Pushpan, Lal Salam. Comrade Pushpan, Amar Rahe. Comrade Buddhadev Bhattacharya. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI pays homage to the memory of Buddhadev Bhattacharya, who formerly served as Chief Minister of West Bengal and Politburo member of CPIM. He died on August 8, 2024. He distinguished himself first as a minister and later on when he succeeded Jyoti Basu as the Chief Minister in November 2000. He played a key role in formulating the approach and policies of the left front government in Bengal. He made a significant contribution to the development of cultural institutions and sustaining progressive cultural values. He was a poet, playwright, and writer. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI pays homage to the memory of Buddhadev Bhattacharya. Buddhadev Bhattacharya, Comrade Buddhadev Bhattacharya, Lal Salam. Comrade Buddhadev Bhattacharya, Amar Rahe. Comrade Sunit Chopra. Comrade Sunit Chopra was instrumental in establishing SFI in JNU and expanding SFI to the parts of northern India during the 1970s. He was a member of SFI's Central Executive Committee and part of the SFI generation that fought the emergency. After his SFI period, he became the leader of Democratic Youth Federation of India, DYFI, and later became the leader of All India Agriculture Workers Union, AIAWU. He contributed valuably to the fields of paintings, art, cultural critique, historical writings, and so on. The 18th All India Conference honor Comrade Sunit Chopra's life and contribution. Comrade Sunit Chopra, Lal Salam. Comrade Sunit Chopra, Amar Rahe. Comrade Samir Chakravarti. Comrade Samir Chakravarti served as President of the Tripura State Committee from 1981 to 89, former All India Vice President of SFI, former editor of Chhatra Sangbad. His involvement as one of the pivotal leaders His involvement with the Tripura State Students' Federation began in the late 60s. He emerged as one of the pivotal leaders and organizers actively participating in the struggle to address various student demands across the state. After his tenure in the student movement, he became a prominent figure in the democratic movement as well. The 18th All India Conference of the SFI pays homage to Comrade Samir Chakrabarti. Comrade Samir Chakrabarti, Lal Salam. Comrade Samir Chakrabarti, Amar Rahe. The 18th All India Conference pays homage to the victims of Palestine and the victims of the Ahmedabad plane crash, along with all other names written in the condolence report, in the condolence resolution which has been given to you. Along with this, the 18th All India Conference pays homage to all the victims of the Pahalgaon terrorist incident. I would like to request you all to stand up in silence for a minute, paying homage to all of them. Thank you, comrade.
So, we have two inaugurators for 18th All India Conference of SFI. So, first of all, I am inviting Shashi Kumar, who is the founder of the first private channel in India other than English or Hindi. That was in Malayalam. He was the founder of that channel. And about that welcome speech, Comrade Riaz said about the Asian School of Journalism. And he is now very much critic about this journalism. And he is very much critic about the Union government and is very vocal against the communal agenda of the Union government. And heartfully, we are welcoming Comrade. We are requesting Shashi Kumar to inaugurate our 18th All India Conference.
Friends and comrades, this is a historic occasion. Historic because, as Comrade Riaz said, after 22 years, the All India SFI conference is taking place in Kerala, and that in Kozhikode, which has its own history of syncretism, of inclusion, of tolerance, of resistance, of fighting for human values. This is historic also because it takes place at a time when all around us the clouds of inhuman activity, of capitalist aggrandizement of an unprecedented order, where a plutocracy of billionaires are trying to determine the new world order, where academic institutions, universities, which speak for truth, which speak for liberal values, which speak for academic freedom, for freedom of expression, are being gutted mercilessly and ruthlessly across the world, where the dark, obscurantist forces of religion are being unleashed against the humane values of equity, of fraternity, of inclusion, of growth, of excellence. As students, which the Students' Federation of India largely represents, this is a defining moment. And for me, as I'm sure for all of you, particularly in my generation, it is very heartening to see the energy, the determination, the strength, the doggedness, the tenacity in the young faces here who are saying, without expressing it in as many words, we will not let this happen. You are the future. You are the future, but those who will deny you that future are in your way. And you will fight them, as very few can. In India today, if there is any force which is frontally attacking or resisting the dark forces of the RSS and the BJP, it is the left. It is the communist movement. It is the allied fronts of that movement. It is not, unfortunately, the legatees of the freedom movement, the Congress. It is not many of the others. It is true that it's a broad alliance that needs to fight the RSS and the BJP, but in the front, building this together, is the left. The forces of the left are the hope of preserving the sanity, preserving the excellence, preserving the idealism that youth must represent. Look at what is happening in universities of international repute like Harvard. There are raids taking place, arresting students. Look at what is happening in what is commonly celebrated as the crucible of freedom in the world, wrongly, but celebrated as such, in the United States of America. They are turning their army on their own people. They are suppressing protests, all because a coterie of plutocrats, of digital capitalists, of an order the world has never seen before, in collusion with a state which is almost a mockery for a state because it is run by a person who says, I am the state. The Trumpian state is a state like Louis XIV of France. I am the state, after me the deluge, and before me the deluge. This whole combination is dictating or trying to dictate a new world order where the moral compass is broke, where sense of ethics and decency and propriety are thrown out of the window, where truth is a casualty, where double standards flourish. Women and children are being killed in a genocide in Gaza ruthlessly for the last several months, for a year now. And the mainstream media in the world talks about it as if it is a new normal. This is the new normal of our lives. There will be that pocket where people will continue to be killed. We will continue with our lives. We have seen how hypocritically Israel is allowed to unleash violence, bombard, invade aerial space of other nations, launch ballistic missiles with impunity. And when a nation resists that, that is considered an aggrandizement. Immediately there are calls for ceasefire. This double standard, this hypocrisy is continuing unleashed across the world. And the people are protesting. People like you, The youth of this country are protesting. The youth of this world are protesting. In Los Angeles, in New York, in cities in New York, I've been there for the last month. You can see the vibrancy of that protest. They are saying, we will not let this happen. Much of this is not reported, unfortunately, in the mainstream media. If it is reported as some kind of malaise, some kind of disease, some kind of pathology. Fighting for human values, fighting for the rights of people, fighting for the downtrodden, fighting for the deprived is in today's value system considered a disease, a pathology which ought to be corrected and cured. That is how warped our value systems have become. That is how broken the moral compass is today. It is to set this right that the youth of the world are taking the lead. And in India, the organization that you represent, the Students' Federation of India, with its track record, will, I am sure, continue to play a leading role in this struggle. Look at what is the arrogance of those in power. There is this whole theory that after the Cold War, we have passed into a post-ideological phase. Our comrades from Tamil Nadu, the SFI comrades, they presented the gangster rap gang. Wonderfully, the protest, their response to the idea that communism is dead in the post-ideological phase. It is not. It has become even more relevant. It has become even more valid and important and crucial if human sanity and human ideals and human rights must continue. But look at what the world is doing to it. The ideological drama, we say there is no ideology. If you consider the big multinational, shall we say, digital capitalists like Musk and Peter Thiel and so on, or the Vice President J.D. Vance in the United States, who are digital capitalists of an order the world has never seen before. This is capitalism unimaginable. They have an ideology. In fact, some of them have a group from the Stanford days where they have a guru. The guru, of course, did not say what they think they said. They talk about what's called imitative capitalism. It's a new form of capitalism. It's a virulent form of capitalism. Mimetic capitalism is a term they use. In other words, what they are saying is capitalism is not just the primitive accumulation that Marx spoke about. It is you want to be better than the other person who is a capitalist. So it's a kind of one-upmanship among capitalists. So the entire endeavor of economic activity, of market forces, should be to fulfill this imitative capitalist ardor or aspiration. Entire generations or entire sections, demographics of population are left out in the cold in this process. Imagine a world which is converted into a competition among the billionaires and creating and acquiring and sustaining markets to sustain that competition. That is what we are into today. It is, in some sense, the Marxist idea of commodity fetishism, but it's far more than that. It's a newfangled idea. And this has to be fought. And the people who are seeing it in front of their eyes are fighting it. There may be some things we disagree with. A young mayoral candidate in New York called Zohran Mamdani. But when he speaks the language of the common man, and when he wins the mayoral primary candidacy for the Democratic Party, the President of the United States calls him a lunatic communist. This is how they view anything which is not of the far right. Anything on the left is stigmatized. Anything on the left which is democratic, which is socialist, which speaks in terms of inclusion, is stigmatized. That is the larger world picture. Here in India, we have a mirror image of that under the BJP government, where the RSS agenda is being fulfilled methodically, day after day, month after month, year after year. We have seen how they tried to gut our universities. We have seen what happened to Jawaharlal Nehru University and other universities. There's a direct aggrandizement of these universities, and yet, election after election after election, the left bounces back to power in JNU and they don't know what to do about it. Because the youth see the truth. Youth see the value of truth. They cannot be misled. They cannot be derailed. They cannot be, led away from the core values which they believe in. In addition to this frontal attack of universities, they use constitutional positions, including that of the gubernatorial positions, the governors of various states, to be the cat's paw, to shall we say, literally castrate the universities, to create a new educational system which talks about obscurantism, which looks for values in mythology, not even in history. And when there is a resistance to this, those people will be called lunatic communists. So there is a combination of these forces, a dangerous collusion of these forces internationally and in the context of India today, even in India. And when it comes to fighting this, the left plays a very crucial role. As you know, India Bloc was India Bloc not because the left has a big presence, but because it has the integrity, it has the credibility. Comrade Sitaram Yechuri, as we know, played a crucial role in the formation of the India Bloc to fight the BJP RSS forces. And after him, you can already see that it is in tatters. Why does this happen? It happens because of the credibility, the principled stand of a party, of a movement, of the allied fronts that carry this whole ideology forward. We are not in a post-ideological phase. You need to be even more ideology. The solution to the current problem is not abstinence from ideology, as unfortunately a section of the youth seem to be thinking. They are beginning to become apolitical or anti-political, which is what the status quo wants. This is what the BJP RSS kind of ruling establishment wants, because they want people who will just listen to what they say. They want herds who will just be mobilized and become street fighters. We are seeing that, the lawlessness. If you want to show a film in India today, it's not enough to get a censor certificate. You must make sure that the street gangs don't pillage the theaters, that they allow the film to run. Constitutional machineries, establishments are being destroyed, are collapsing. We are seeing a conflation of the idea of the state and the person. We see that happening in the US, we see that happening in India. I am the state, as Louis XIV would say. We see a collusion or a conflation happening when it comes to West Asia, when it comes to the Palestinian rights, where you conflate artificially, deliberately, mischievously, anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. Zionism is a poisonous, dangerous ideology, and any rational person will oppose it. But if you today oppose Zionism, they'll say you're an anti-Semite, you're anti-Jew. This is a conflation deliberately brought about. In India, the counterpart is a conflation of Hinduism and Hindutva. Hinduism is a religion, and in a free country like India, we practice. There are lots of Hindus. Some of us are Hindus by name, by birth, may not be practicing Hindus. But Hindutva is the equivalent of Zionism. It is the acute, poisonous construct out of Hinduism. But today, if you oppose Hindutva, you are called anti-Hindu. And immediately you are associated with minority, with Islam, and Islam per se is seen as anti-national. There's a whole mythology, a whole dangerous mythology being created by a party and by this political front called the RSS, or the cultural nationalist front called the RSS, which is dabbling in our culture, in our ancient traditions, selectively, and creating a new poisonous India. The SFI and allied organizations are the only ones who can fight this determinedly, with tenacity. Otherwise, we will have a divided nation. Already we are a polarized nation. We are polarized culturally, we are polarized politically, we are polarized societally. And just to illustrate why Hinduism and Hindutva conflation is so dangerous, you cannot find a greater Hindu than Mahatma Gandhi. He believed in Hinduism, but he was against Hindutva. Read his latest, the book by Gopal Krishna Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi's grandson. It's called Mahatma Gandhi, I Am an Ordinary Indian. That's the title of the book. It is for the first time publication of Gandhiji's writings in Gujarati, which were not published in his collected works before, where he talks about the difference between Hindutva and Hinduism, not in as many words, where he opposes Sanatanism. He calls those who are who are for untouchability, those who do not allow particular castes into temples, those who other lower castes, not lowered castes, there is no lower caste, we lower them, lowered castes. He calls those who do that Sanatanists. He doesn't call them Hindus. And he says Sanatanists are against Hinduism. In Kerala, he came and had a big argument with the upper class caste Nambudris here, where he argued for temple, integration, for re-entry, for all castes. And that is all reflected in this book. I would urge that you should read it. Because this is a Hindu, the personification of Hindu, the quintessential Hindu, political Hindu of this century, or of the last century, speaking, writing about what he thinks about Sanatanists. But today, if you say anything against Sanatana, you will immediately be seen as anti-Hindu. And you will be persecuted on social media or physically. So this is the kind of conflations that are taking place. And we must recognize this. Organizations like the SFI, I'm sure, will recognize this and tackle this as in the way it should be tackled. There are two aspects to, I think, the philosophy of the left that I would like to draw your attention to, which I think are very relevant today. One is the aspect of culture, which traditionally we may not have given equal importance in the left ideologies, because the Marxist ideology, as we know, is based on economic centrism. In the sense, the economic is central to Marxist ideology. Some time back, we know that academically there was a discussion on caste needing to be reconsidered. Initially, we had a simplistic synonymity, a simplistic conflation of caste and class. And that was addressed by the party, addressed by the thinkers in the party, by the ideologues. And today there is an understanding of caste as something distinctive, although it could belong to the larger context of class. Similarly, we have to redefine, relook at the concept of culture, because the enemy is using culture. The enemy is using culture day in and day out, using culture as identity, using culture as identity mark. In the Marxist tradition, we have an idea of superstructure and base. And the base is seen as economic, and superstructure would be seen as culture. Some extreme thinking on Marxist alliance would think culture is even false consciousness. But there are Marxists like Raymond Williams who have argued that in the new order, we need to consider culture as important as the economic determined base. Because culture is part of identity. And when we have moved into the post-Cold War situation, there are some people who argue that we have moved from an era of ideology to an era of identity. That identity has become very important in the current realm of ideology, which may or may not be true, but we see palpably before us the cultural argument, the cultural identity raising its head, and to counter that, we need to be able to know that culture and oppose that culture. The other important thing, I think, for the youth of this country is to know the importance of digital culture and digital social media. We know that the winners in the world, those who are spreading misinformation, disinformation, false news, untruth, are doing it using social media. Modi has his own social media. He doesn't give press conferences anymore. Trump has his own social media. Paradoxically, it's called Truth Social. Now, nothing truthful about it, but it's called Truth Social. I think he had a complex about it. That's why he called it Truth Social, because he knew he was going to say untruth after untruth on that platform. So the importance of social media must be driven home, and digital media. In fact, Raymond Williams says we should not have an hoary idea of culture, the old, grand old culture, because that is what these antiquated forces are using. For everything, go back to mythology. The surgery existed in the Vedic times, that there were aeroplanes in the early, you have heard all those silly arguments. We need instead an idea of culture that is living and everyday, what you call quotidian culture, as Raymond Williams says. Culture is in the everyday, in our habits, in our behaviors, in the way we interact, in our expressions, in our songs, in our poems, in our protests, in our lives. So demystify the idea of culture, but deal with culture. We cannot run away from culture. Demystify it and question the values that these so-called cultural ambassadors are putting before us. I think once we have mastered the social media, I'm sure SFI and organizations like that are active in social media, but the opposition is so overwhelming in that area, so dominant in that area, that they are able to peddle a lot of untruth, a lot of nonsense. The famous philosopher Nietzsche said something which came true in the 1930s Germany of Nazis. He said, the history of truth is the history of the longest lasting falsehood. In other words, the history of truth is the history of the longest lasting falsehood. In other words, the history of lies. If you say a lie once, nobody believes you. Say it twice, thrice, 4 times, people begin to wonder, maybe this is true, that is not true. So this is the way social media is being used. But the RSS BJP combine, and we must counter that. We have to point out that this is the truth of life. This is the truth of the deprived. This is the truth of people who do not have wages, do not have a job. This is the truth of discrimination. This is the truth of exclusion. This is the truth of female infanticide, of bonded labor, of gender injustice. You look around us, it's all unequal. All a question of expression, of suppression, exploitation. So those are the truths that must be countering the kind of the new normal truths that the BJP RSS tries to put out. So I'm sure that with these few words, I do not want to spend a longer time here because there is a big agenda ahead of you. My good friend Raina is to speak. I would say that if we can wed ourselves to the idea of looking at truth as we know it, not as it is peddled by social media, especially by the rightist forces, not even unfortunately as it is, may not be consciously peddled, but as it is reflected automatically in the mainstream media, because the mainstream media just picks up the lead from those in power, partly because they think it's easier to do it, partly because they are under threat. under direct or indirect threat. There are all kinds of forces operating on them. So you cannot, unfortunately, believe what you read, what you see in television, what you hear on, in podcasts. Cannot take it at face value. You have to interrogate, you have to question, and you as SFI are best placed to become that filter which will call out the untruth, which will call out the falsities, which will call out the misinformation and disinformation and provide an alternative narrative. And therefore, I'll conclude partly in deference to our guests from West Bengal with a quotation from Thakur, Rabindranath Tagore, who wrote this in 1930s, even before independence, about what the India he envisages would be. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world is not broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Lal Salam, Jai Hind.
So next, Comrade M.K. Raina with us. We know he's an actor, director, and a theatre artist. For us, moreover that he is a comrade of Comrade Safdar Hashmi, and he is one of the founder of Safdar Hashmi Memorial Trust, Sahmat. So I'm proudly invite Comrade M.K. Raina to deliver his inaugural speech.
Thank you, SFI, for inviting me to be in this wonderful conference here. I congratulate you when I saw you in the streets of Delhi protesting, facing police recently when you were demonstrating against the plight of the Gaza and the Palestine. And that was a wake-up call for a lot of people in Delhi, because people in Delhi think now it's not possible to protest. Space has been taken over already by the right, and they dominate it. But there is a saying Fidel Castro had said once, ideas don't need weapons. The battle today in India is about ideas. We have on the one side medieval ideas day in and day out, churned on media, leaders, parliament, wherever they are, every day. But we need to understand why they are doing it. Many years back, a friend of mine in Nepal gifted me a map, beautifully printed digital map of India. But what was unique, what he had done, was he had printed it upside down. So you had Kerala on the top and Kashmir at the bottom. I said, why are you doing, what is this? Why have you done it? He said, you know, you Indians think that you have a head, Kashmir, you have two arms and your feet, you are a perfect nation. This map tells you how you are surrounded with the people who are, and time will come and you will wake up what that means. When I was asked to come here, I really looked at that map. It is still with me. I said, what a prophetic thing that Nepal doesn't like us, Bangladesh doesn't like us, Sri Lanka has problems, Pakistan has problems. What have we done with the nation? What has happened to the nation? See, I am from culture. I was at the National School of Drama. Students used to come from Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan. For decades now, no students come from there. Why has it happened? I remember when there was a government in Afghanistan, there were 500 students coming to learn, educate themselves in India because India was offering them 500 scholarships. In every university you will see them. And that was kind of a relationship we are building through soft power. Today, nobody is coming. Why is it happening? Is it because there was less resistance? Was there that we didn't wake up what was happening? We knew, at least left knew, left has been working on it. And I'm a storyteller. I always will tell you about true stories. The Nepal story is one wake-up call for all of us because today it's China coming to Bangladesh, it's China coming to Nepal, is coming to Pakistan. And what is my government doing? I asked my question, Mr. Prime Minister, you did a 100 crore project when you brought the chairman of the China to Gujarat. You remember those scenes on the television? He was on a jhula. He was given the great reception where the river bed was. What happened? Why does this happen? What is happening today? So my request or my observation is to the youth of India, which needs direction. Brecht gave up, I will be switching between Hindi and Urdu because I've been asked, there are a lot of people from Hindi area here. Brecht की एक poem है, घर तुम जिंदा हो कभी ना कहो कभी नहीं. If you are alive, never say never. जो कुछ निश्चित है निश्चित नहीं है. What's final is not final. जैसे जो कुछ है वैसे नहीं रहेगा. The conditions that are there will not remain as they are. किसकी हिम्मत है जो कहे कभी नहीं. So remember, particularly as a, SFI people, youth should remember, what is impossible is possible. That is what this country needs today. I come from the north. I brought this Palestinian scarf because I felt, because it has suffocated me for a year or so. In 1972, there was huge number of Palestinian students studying in India, like I told you, Afghanistan. And some of them became our friends. At one day, they asked us to do a celebration of their 1948 was Darya Singh massacre done by the Zionists, 1948. And we participated with them and we did a cultural performance. Then I was reciting Mahmoud Darwish and many other poets. There was Mahmoud who was doing nuclear physics, PhD. There was Sadiq who was doing engineering, chemical, and Abdul who was an 8-year-old who had a bullet mark here I'm talking of 72. I don't know where they are today. But when you look at some images that filter us through media and see that is it possible in today's world that millions will be drawn out, bombarded, and their children will be starving? A big nation like USA endorses it. European nations endorse it, right to defend, they call it. They don't see blood. They don't see starvation. They stop people coming in with food packets. And then you ask yourself, is it possible? That is the message I think the Iranian counter-attack on Qatar and also on Israel. Because there was one in this footage I saw, they had meticulously bombed multi-corporation buildings. And because there you see the message that what Shashi was telling you, that corporations, huge corporations, where Musk is one of them, there is all these big boys who are the richest people in the world, they are trying to take hold of the earth. Believe me, Arthur Miller, playwright you must have heard, he gave a message a few years back when he was alive for the International Theatre Day. He says, stop this hypocrisy in America. Let there be, this is a hypocrisy of elections that you are doing. It is being taken and governed by corporates. He predicted it then. Now today you see it is openly done. This young boy, Mamdani, comes into New York and already campaign has started that he's a leftist, he's a Muslim, Asians have been brought in. America giving away its multiculturalism, but millions are coming out to it. I think India today, because I belong to Kashmir and I know pain of Palestinians when they lose home. In one day in 1990 January, I lost everything in Kashmir. I had to pack up my family out. So my sympathies with the people of Palestine, or the people like day before yesterday. I think that story is, you're talking of Hindu and Muslim. Finally, Hindu will fight the Hindu. Yadav will fight Brahmin. It has happened in UP. This Kathavachak, storyteller, was asked to do a story in UP. UP mein kahani bolne ja raha tha. And he did the story very well, Ram Katha, whatever he did. After that, they welcomed him, gave him gifts, and they told him, what's your name? He said some name and said Yadav. The moment his Yadav was attacked, he was beaten up. His head was shaved. He said, how dare you come into this village of Brahmins? It will reach to that. So that is what the Hindutva will do itself. It will kill itself. It will not hold the way it is, because there is a force which is with the have-nots who have nothing. When you push them, you tame them, they have to sit back. They will hit back. And there is our role. SFI, Youth of India, has a role. What Shashi said about the culture, it's my complaint to my left friends, that why do you not use culture? Because there is that Indian culture, Hindu culture has only, it is upper caste and it has, old ideas. Yes, it has. The job of today's educated, left-oriented Marxists is to locate in it the seeds of modernity. I have been working in Kashmir with the traditional performers. From their simple plays right up to Shakespeare, I have done with them, because I was creating new theater, new ideas, new way of looking at these old things. That is possible. And I think another thing that's very important to understand is that old culture that has been saved today across India has been saved by the Dalits and have-nots. What you call folk drama, folk culture, folk music. Right from the days of Bhakti movement, where Kabir and others were there, is preserved with modern interpretations. It's there. We need to locate it and use it. It's very important for a person to understand what you are trying to say if you tell him in his language. Otherwise, it becomes Greek to him. He can't understand. वो समझ नहीं सकता है कि क्या हो रहा है. इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ कि संस्कृति में, भारतीय संस्कृति में जो आपको लगता है कि ये जड़ है, इसका कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, उसको जरा आप कुरेद लीजिए. जैसे वो सब ब्राह्मणों ने उस पर डाला है, उसको जरा साफ उस प्लास्टर उतार दीजिए, आपको आधुनिक बीज दिखेंगे. उस पुरानी कल्चर में, और वो लोकेट करना मुझे लगता है यूथ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो आपकी है वो कर सकती है ये काम. दे शुड डू इट एंड यू शुड बी यूजिंग कल्चर एट एवरी लेवल, एट एवरी फेज, not just for only entertainment. That is not the purpose of culture. Culture is to give you compassion. Culture is to give you direction. Culture is not only just to entertain. That is the what you call entertainment world, which has no values. It goes to them. But I think the youth, you people, SFI should have cultural units because things have gone beyond us. You have no idea how the Sanskar Bharati is penetrated every cultural institution. I know it. Everywhere. The third-rate talent is being given the job, which we will be there for 30 years. It has been, so we need to organize culturally ourselves. We have been doing it at Sahmat for 35 years when Sabdar was killed. And we have every time come with a new idea how to use our culture as a weapon of resistance. We have to resist. And best way to resist is to go, look back at your past, find those elements. And there has been struggles from 14th century onwards in India, always. And there is a huge body of this culture which needs to be celebrated, which needs to be put forward in today's times. And in that, not only now which you can do dance, you have to use cinema. Today you have a little camera in you, and it can do wonders. Small camera in your mobile. Use it, make films, and put them on the YouTube or wherever you can. Reach the people. I think that is what is we needed. But you can do it much better because you are a mass organization, not a small organization. And for that, I personally would like to volunteer myself from this podium. When you need to, for any kind of workshop, any kind of training in that, there will be a lot of people like me who will like to contribute and work with you. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you. So I'm requesting Comrade Muhammad Riyaz to felicitate our inaugurator, Comrade Shashi Kumar. Comrade, please. I'm requesting Comrade Mayuk Bishwas, General Secretary, to hand over momentum to Comrade M.K. Raina. So, comrades, now the inaugural session is over. So, on behalf of Central Executive Committee, we are thanking Comrade Shashi Kumar and Comrade M.K. Raina for coming here and giving the valuable information and speeches to us. So, now we are adjourning for tea. Sharp 12:25, we have to restart our conference proceedings. So 12:25 we will start with the Palestine Solidarity Program. You can go ahead.